Imagine embarking on a cross-country road trip with your friends, music blaring, and the excitement of adventure ahead. As you cruise 106 miles to Chicago with a full tank of gas and sunglasses on, you're experiencing a classic American tradition that's deeply rooted in history. It all traces back to the Federal Aid Highway Act of the 1950s, which laid the foundation for the extensive network of roads we rely on today. But if you zoom in, you'll see that these highways, while vital for travel, have also caused division and displacement in many towns and cities across the country. Fast forward half a century, and many of these roads are showing signs of wear and tear, leaving cities to grapple with the decision, repair or tear down, and if they choose the latter, what comes next? While we celebrate the achievements of the interstate highway system, we must also acknowledge its costs. Historians point out that some highways were deliberately designed to displace minority communities, leaving a lasting impact on neighborhoods. However, with new infrastructure initiatives on the horizon, there's hope for healing and revitalization. Historians often refer to the interstate highway system as one of the greatest public works projects in American history. It was a monumental effort that created jobs, connected cities, and fueled the nation's love affair with automobiles. Yet, as we've seen, it's not without its drawbacks, particularly in terms of its impact on communities. As highways expanded into major cities, they sparked protests and resistance, especially when they were used to reinforce racial segregation. Many people were uprooted from their homes, disrupting lives and communities. Now, cities like Rochester, New York, are taking action to undo some of this damage. Take Rochester's Inner Loop, for example. This highway encircled the city, cutting off neighborhoods and stifling development. But instead of patching it up, the city decided to tear down a portion, paving the way for a more pedestrian-friendly environment. The transformation has been a success, breathing new life into the area and fostering community connections. This isn't just happening in Rochester. Across the country, there's a growing movement to remove highways and prioritize walkability and community development. While it's a costly and complex endeavor, it's essential for creating more equitable and sustainable cities. However, it's crucial to approach these projects with care and consideration for the communities they impact. We can't simply erase highways without addressing the needs of those who live nearby. Affordable housing, recreational space, and public transit must all be part of the conversation. Ultimately, highway teardowns represent a shift in how we view urban planning. We're moving away from car-centric design toward more people-focused communities. While the interstate highway system has left its mark on America, these teardowns offer a chance to learn from the past and build a better future. So as we embark on this journey of urban renewal, let's remember the lessons of the past and strive to create cities that are not only accessible and sustainable, but also inclusive and vibrant. After all, the road to progress is paved with collaboration, empathy, and a commitment to building communities that work for everyone. As we delve deeper into the discussion surrounding highway infrastructure, it's evident that the decisions made today will shape the future of our cities for generations to come. In Rochester and beyond, communities are grappling with the complexities of highway removal and redevelopment, weighing the benefits against the potential pitfalls. The success of projects like Rochester's Inner Loop transformation serves as a beacon of hope, demonstrating that it's possible to undo the mistakes of the past and create a more sustainable and inclusive urban landscape. However, as we embark on this journey of renewal, it's essential to approach it with humility and foresight, recognizing that there are no one-size-fits-all solutions. Each city has its own unique set of challenges and opportunities, and it's up to local leaders, planners, and residents to come together and chart a path forward that reflects the needs and aspirations of their community. By prioritizing equity, accessibility, and environmental sustainability, we can ensure that our cities are not only places of economic prosperity, but also havens of social cohesion and cultural vibrancy. The road ahead may be long and winding, but with creativity, collaboration, and a commitment to positive change, we can pave the way for a brighter and more equitable future for all. So let's roll up our sleeves, put on our thinking caps, and get to work building the cities of tomorrow, one highway teardown at a time. The journey towards reimagining our cities and highways is multifaceted, involving a myriad of stakeholders and considerations. It's a process that requires patience, innovation, and a willingness to learn from both the successes and failures of the past. As we look to the future, it's crucial to prioritize community engagement and empowerment, ensuring that the voices of those most impacted by highway infrastructure decisions are heard and valued. By fostering inclusive dialogue and collaboration, we can co-create solutions that reflect the diverse needs and perspectives of our communities. Moreover, we must remain vigilant in addressing systemic inequities and injustices that may arise during the redevelopment process. This means actively working to mitigate displacement, preserve affordable housing, and promote economic opportunities for all residents, particularly those from historically marginalized backgrounds. At the same time, we have an opportunity to leverage emerging technologies and urban design principles to build more sustainable, resilient, and people-centric cities. From expanding public transit options to enhancing green spaces and pedestrian infrastructure, there are countless ways to create healthier and more livable urban environments. Ultimately, the transformation of our highways is not just about removing concrete and asphalt. It's about reimagining the very fabric of our cities and communities. It's about creating spaces that foster connection, belonging, and opportunity for all who call them home. So let's embrace this opportunity with optimism and determination, knowing that by working together, we can build a future where our highways are not barriers, but bridges to a brighter tomorrow. Together, let's pave the way towards a more equitable, sustainable, and inclusive urban landscape for generations to come. The cross-country road trip is a quintessentially American tradition, made possible by the historic infrastructure investment of the Federal Aid Highway Act of the 1950s. However, as we zoom in closer, we find that many towns and cities across the country were divided and neighborhoods displaced by these highways. Now, decades later, cities are faced with the decision of whether to repair or tear down these aging freeways and consider what to put in their place. The interstate highway system, considered the greatest public works project in American history, transformed travel, job opportunities, and trade routes. With over 48,000 miles of highways constructed, it became the backbone of American transportation. However, the construction of these highways was not without its consequences. Highway revolts began to emerge as the construction of new roads through urban areas faced protests. In some cases, highway building reinforced racial segregation and displaced communities. Over 1 million people were displaced from their homes in the first 30 years of highway construction. One city that experienced the division caused by a highway was Rochester, New York. The city's inner loop, a highway that wraps around downtown, became a barrier that divided neighborhoods. However, in recent years, the city made the decision to remove part of the inner loop, creating an opportunity to prioritize walkability and development for the surrounding neighborhoods. The project was a success, revitalizing the area and bringing new life and vitality to the community. The removal of highways is not unique to Rochester. Across the United States, there have been at least 40 highway removal proposals, with cities recognizing the need to prioritize people over cars. While these removals are not a cure-all for a city's problems, they offer a chance to reimagine urban spaces and reconnect communities. However, the process is not without its challenges, including the risk of pricing out current residents and the need for careful planning to ensure affordable housing, recreational spaces, and accessible public transit. Highway teardowns are gaining traction in Washington, with discussions of funding these projects in the U.S. infrastructure bill. While the funding allocated in the bill may not be sufficient, it signals a shift in how city planners view the role of cars in urban spaces. The focus is shifting towards creating communities that prioritize people and offer a range of transportation options. Each city faces unique challenges and considerations when deciding to remove highways. It is crucial to involve the most affected populations and plan within the broader context of urban development. This includes considerations of affordable housing, recreational spaces, public transit, and accessibility. Highway teardowns serve as a powerful reminder of the need to learn from the past and build a better future. While the interstate highway system reshaped America, it is essential to recognize the costs and consequences it brought. By reimagining urban spaces and prioritizing people, cities can create communities that are more inclusive, sustainable, and focused on the needs of their residents. Highway removal projects have been gaining momentum in recent years, with successful examples from around the world. Here are some resources that highlight success stories and the positive impacts of highway removal projects. 8 completed highway removals tell the story of a movement, This article from the Congress for the New Urbanism, CNU, features 8 highway transformation projects that illustrate the historical precedent and potential benefits of removing highways from cities. Read more: highway removals, restoring the urban fabric and unlocking new development opportunities. Arch Daily discusses how highway removal projects restore the urban fabric, reknit communities, and create new development opportunities. The article highlights successful examples and the positive impacts of these interventions. Read more: urban highway removal, 4 considerations for reknitting a city's fabric. Planetizen explores the benefits of removing highways and highlights successful projects that have revitalized urban areas. The article discusses increased development, tourism, and improved public spaces as some of the positive outcomes of highway removal projects. 4 ways to reknit a city's fabric. Stantec's blog discusses the Inner Loop East project in Rochester, New York, as an early success story in the Highway to Boulevard movement. The article highlights the ongoing negative impacts of highways and the positive transformations that occur when they are removed. 6 freeway removals that changed their cities forever. Gizmodo features 6 transformative freeway removal projects from around the world. The article highlights the positive impacts of these projects, including the restoration of lost waterways and the revitalization of city centers. These resources provide insights into the success stories and positive outcomes of highway removal projects. They showcase how these projects can restore urban fabric, reconnect communities, and create new opportunities for development and revitalization. If you enjoy our content and would like to stay updated, we'd be thrilled if you could hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. Thanks for your support.